Hello and welcome into today's edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. I am so grateful to be joining you on this beautiful Saturday morning. It is officially game day. Week 2 of the college football season is officially upon us, and the Arizona State Sun Devils are taking a trek into SEC territory looking to make history and win the first ever true road game against an SEC opponent today when they take on Mississippi State. And the Bulldogs are a team that aren't to be they have to be reckoned with. They aren't to be taken for granted. Vastly different team this year compared to last year. Lots of players that came in via the transfer portal. The returning quarterback in Blake Shapen and a potential freshman quarterback that could burst on the scene that was just discussed by Pete Thamel of ESPN today, and we will discuss him very shortly. But I just wanted to take time for a little time for today's show to talk about some game day things, possible last minute strategic talk, injuries, the news about Mississippi State quarterback situation, and everything in between. But when you get done watching this video today, please follow me on X/Twitter at KX_21 as you see in the banner below. Your support means everything to me, and I will be posting updates and story content and everything in between throughout the day. And I'm so excited to be covering this game today from the comforts of my Adobe in Tempe. And thank you so much. And let's get into today's episode. So, I wanted to start off by talking about Arizona State's injuries. We still do not know the status of Justin Watley, the star edge rusher for the Sun Devils, nor do we know Max Ianacor or we do know Ben Coleman. We don't know Jalen Moss. Ben Coleman is a go. Coach Kenny Dillingham said that he will start at center this week, and that will be a major point of focus as Mississippi State is obviously a very rambunctious, rush, just lively environment. And it's going to be incredible to watch the Cowbells and see how Arizona State, Ben Coleman, and Sam Levitt are able to communicate and coexist today, especially after an uneven performance from the offensive line last week. Jalen Moss will be a major factor in this game if he is able to play. Obviously, a very good special teamer and a very good possession receiver. He's able to take advantage easily of finding space in the short to intermediate game. Miss State runs a lot of cover 0 and cover 1, so there's a lot of man coverage, but he's still very good at coming up with contested catches, but he is especially phenomenal in breaking down zone coverage. But we'll see if he's a go today. And Justin Watley, he's the co-starter alongside Elijah O'Neal at the Devil position or Sparky position, and if he's not a go, then we probably will see some of Albert Smith at the position alongside Elijah O'Neal as well. So that is something to monitor heading into game time. And we will talk about game details in a few minutes. But right now, I wanted to get to some very, very interesting news coming from Pete Thamel of ESPN. As I said earlier, he reported during College Game Day this morning that highly touted freshman quarterback Kamario Taylor is expected to see snaps in today's game in succession of Blake Shapen. Obviously, Blake Shapen is the QB1 for Mississippi State. The senior has experience in the system, even if he only played in 4 games last season. He knows how to run the veer and shoot system that Mississippi State employs. I don't know why I said Baylor. But Kamario Davis will be used in high leverage situations such as in the red zone and in short yardage scenarios. They see him as the most talented quarterback to play for them since Dak Prescott, which that's very high praise for a freshman quarterback. And I'm sure Arizona State has done their work on him. I can't see a world in which Brian Ward and Kenny Dillingham would not do their homework on a player of that caliber. But it is interesting that the report just came out today that they're planning on using him in high leverage situations. We'll see if that changes things for the Sun Devils. Obviously, Arizona State is a very, very standout run defense. They have a phenomenal front seven, one of the top 20 or so front sevens in all of college football. Let's see if they adjust at all to face that reality. We'll see what happens tonight, but that is an interesting wrinkle that just got thrown into the equation. And as for some last minute strategic talk, from my point of view, I think the best plan of attack for Arizona State is to secure the opening kickoff if they can. If they win the opening kickoff, I'd say just take the ball to start the game. Set the tone early through Jordan Tyson. We'll see how Mississippi State attacks him, but like I said a minute ago, they run a lot of cover 0 and cover 1, so it should be easy to exploit them if they decide to only give Tyson single coverage. There's a very strong possibility that they end up doubling him, but even then, that opens up room for Jaron Hamilton, who Marcus Arroyo, the offensive coordinator, said will see more action this week. Kyson Brown has been a stalwart in the passing game. He obviously hauled in 7 passes last week, and Shimon Mateer is another player to watch, especially in the red zone. He's just a more physical player than a lot of Mississippi State linebackers. He's absolute dynamite in the red zone, and there are multiple ways that Marcus Arroyo can attack this Mississippi State defense. Now let's go to the defensive side of the ball. It's obviously going to be heavily predicated on stopping the run. The Sun Devils were number 1 in the Big 12 in rush defense last season. Mississippi State has a 3-headed attack at running back, much like Arizona State. And it's going to be paramount for players such as CJ Fight, such as Cyrus Fiaseu, such as Jacob Kangaika to stop the Mississippi State run, to throw the Bulldogs off of their game script, to make life more uncomfortable for their quarterbacks, however much those quarterbacks see the field. It's going to be a fascinating game. The Bulldogs don't have many proven weapons when it comes to the downfield passing attack. And to me, stopping the run is the most important thing. Controlling the pace of the game so your defense gets rested, especially in a humid environment such as that. You want to utilize your depth, but you don't want to push it to its limits. And keeping your defense off the field as much as possible could be a very big theme of today's game. And overall, I'm feeling confident. I believe the Sun Devils will come out of Starkville with a victory, the first win ever on the road against an SEC opponent. And as for game details, the Sun Devils and Bulldogs are to kick off at 4:30 Mountain Standard Time, is to be broadcast on ESPN2. So hopefully there will not be the same broadcasting issues that there were last week. And that is really all I have for the last minute preview today. And I will see you tonight after the game with my post-game reactions. Thank you so much for tuning in each and every day. And I'll catch you later.